Lee Hotel lobby. Returning to the hotel after investigating near the Hongshun Dance Hall, he discovered that the other guests have gathered in the lobby again. This.
사장님, 그리고 여러분, 드디어 돌아오셨네요.
무슨 일이에요? 시끄럽게.
No one beats Marius when it comes to fast reaction. He responds to the attendant with an impatient attitude, glaring at him like President Van Hagen would.
호텔 객실 수색이 방금 끝났습니다. 정 경관님께서 돌아오시기만을 기다리고 계셨어요.
The waiter hurries forward and explains the current situation at the hotel. Looking in the direction where the waiter is pointing, you notice an imposing man in a hat standing among the guests. My apologies, Officer Zhang. Please go ahead. I had to stop for gas on the way back. Guess I gotta pay more attention to it next time. Also, what's up with this place? Why is the gas in Jijia so expensive?
좋습니다. 그럼 일단 이번 조사 결과부터 말씀드리죠.
Officer Zhang takes out a notepad and clears his throat in the middle of the lobby.
저희 경찰은 이가 호텔의 객실, 그리고 호텔 직원들의 숙소까지 수색하였습니다. 수색 결과 진전이 있었고 용의자를 이미 추려낸 상태입니다.
그게 누구죠?
당신이 바로 그중 한 명입니다. 강 기자님.
Cornelius Pierce is a suspect.
저번에 강 기자님이 나한테 누명을 씌우려고 했잖아요. 사실은 도둑이 재발절인 거였군요.
유 회장님도 용의자 중 한 명입니다. 유 회장님의 방에서도 수상한 물건이 나왔습니다.
뭐라고요?
Without waiting for Marius to refute him, Officer Zhang turns his cold eyes toward you.
사장님에게도 의심 가는 점이 있습니다.
What? Officer Zhang points to a thick notebook on a table in the lobby.
이건 사장님의 방에서 찾아낸 호텔 프런트 방명록입니다. 수많은 손님들의 기록이 담겨 있죠. 보통 호텔은 이런 물건을 프런트에 제일 눈에 잘 띄는 곳에 두기 마련입니다. 사장님은 왜 방에 숨겨두신 거죠? 그 안에 남이 알면 안 되는 내용이 있기 때문입니까?
How can I respond to that? I haven't even been to my room before. Is this question supposed to test my improv skills? Sorry, I just took over the hotel and there are many things I don't know about yet. Maybe Boss Lee locked the guest book up himself. The guest book does look pretty old. Maybe it's useless.
그게 다인가요?
Yes, it is. Officer Zhang, how about I look through the guest book later and give you an answer? Officer Zhang nods without confirming or denying anything and continues to look at Artem and Vin standing off to the side.
백고문님, 그리고 윤통역사님. 두 분의 방에서도 의심스러운 물건들이 나왔습니다.
At the end of his sentence, the guests immediately back away. There are murmurs and whispers in the lobby, which really seems to separate the guests from the suspects.
그렇다는 건 제게도 혐의가 있다는 건가요?
Wow, why don't you say all five of us are suspects?
순식간에 5명의 용의자를 확보하다니 참 정확하군요.
너무 긴장하실 필요는 없습니다. 전 그냥 용의자라고 했지 범인이라고 하지는 않았으니까요.
Artem frowns chuckling softly.
장 경관님, 그럼 저희 방에서 무슨 물건들을 찾아내셨는지 알려주시겠습니까?
이건 백고문님의 방에서 찾아낸 물건입니다.
Officer Zhang pulls out a thick leather book with several yellowed pages in it. A ledger? No, it looks more like a notebook.
이 안에는 최근 몇 년간의 광연사의 세력 분포와 관련된 정보와 자세한 명단이 있습니다. 알아보니 필체가 백고문님의 것이 맞다고 하더군요. 그렇다는 건 지금까지 계속 광연사에 대해 조사하고 계셨다는 거겠죠.
광연사는 허주 마을에 깊은 뿌리를 내리고 있어서 상당히 복잡한 구조를 가지고 있습니다. 형성무역회사의 금융 고문으로서 그런 걸 조사하는 게 문제가 될 거라고는 생각하지 않는데요.
Autumn's reply is extremely calm, almost as if he knew that Officer Zhang would suspect him. Officer Zhang declines to comment, then turns to look at Marius.
유 회장님의 VIP 휴게실에서는 이런저런 장부를 발견했습니다. 다른 회사가 유씨 가문 상회에 진 부채를 기록해 놓은 장부였죠.
그게 뭐가 어때서요? 우리 상회는 규모가 크니 부채를 장부에 기록하는 건 당연한 거예요. 그리고 기록을 안 하면 빌려준 돈은 어떻게 받죠?
그런데 수상하게도 장부 사이에 인예 구호소에서 온 편지가 여러 장 끼워져 있었습니다. 유 회장님, 저희의 조사에 따르면 회장님의 상회는 인예 구호소를 후원한 적이 없습니다만 전 사장님은 자주 보조금을 지원하셨죠. 그런데 왜 유 회장님께서 구호소에서 보낸 감사 편지를 받으셨을까요?
지금 수사하고 있는 사건과 관련이 있나요? 대답하지 않겠습니다.
As expected of Marius, he puts a stop to Officer Zhang's questioning immediately. The corners of Officer Zhang's mouth twitch several times, then he turns his attention to Vin. He shakes something in his hand, which turns out to be a half-torn yellowed photo. Eh? That group photo? You recall all of a sudden that you also have a half-torn yellow photo in your purse. It seems similar to the one Officer Zhang is holding. Could it be that Dr. Richter and I both have the same clue? No way! There can't be repeating clues, right?
사실 윤통역사님의 방에서도 인예 구호소와 관련된 물품이 나왔습니다. 그래서 더 궁금해졌죠. 유 회장님과 윤통역사님, 두 분은 인예 구호소와 어떤 관계이신 거죠?
모릅니다. 전 윤통역사님과 잘 모르는 사이거든요.
Vin ignores Marius and bows his head to Officer Zhang.
우연히 얻은 사진일 뿐입니다. 중요한 건 아니죠. 그리고 유 회장님의 말이 맞습니다. 이 물건은 전 사장님 사건과 관련이 없으니 지금은 설명하지 않아도 되겠죠.
The corners of Officer Zhang's mouth twitch a few more times.
두 분에 관한 것은 나중에 다시 얘기하셔도 좋습니다. 하지만 강 기자님의 방에서 나온 물건은 정말 수상했습니다.
저요? 제 방엔 신문 초고 외에는 아무것도 없는데요.
신문 초고가 많았던 건 맞습니다. 하지만 강 기자님의 짐가방에서 헌옷 한 벌과 상당히 값비싼 구슬을 발견했습니다. 강 기자님의 월급으로는 이런 구슬을 사기 힘드실 텐데요. 더 중요한 건 이 헌옷에 피가 묻어 있습니다. 강 기자님, 이건 어떻게 설명하실 겁니까?
뭐라고요?
How could that be? You thought the evidence would be of a supplementary nature. But you didn't expect such an important clue to show up in Luke's possession. When Officer Zhang takes out the blood-stained shirt, Luke's face is stunned for a moment as he blinks 2 times. It's the look he usually makes when he's coming up with a solution.
정경관님, 자세히 보시면 옷에 묻은 혈흔은 꽤 오래됐습니다. 최근에 묻은 게 아니란 말입니다. 그러니 이 옷을 전 사장님과 연관지을 필요는 없을 것 같은데요.
그건 모르는 일이죠. 만약
Officer Zhang is interrupted by a sudden banging on the door. He is about to burst out in a fit of rage when a figure in a suit springs inside, gasping for breath.
큰일 났습니다. 광연사 사람들이 호텔을 둘러싸고 있습니다.
무슨 일이죠?
전 사장님을 애도하기 위해서 왔다고 하는데 좋은 의도를 가지고 온 것 같지는 않아요.
제가 일단 나가보죠. 일단 호텔을 떠나지 마세요. 만약 떠난다 하더라도 광연사 사람들과 갈등을 만들어서는 안 됩니다.
Understood. You're not in agreement, then turn to red everyone. They have the same cautious expression on their faces, which indicates that the variables at this time seems that to have exceeded your expectations. You occasionally get the feeling that you're not experiencing a live-action detective game, but a real adventure across time. What's that strange noise? Is the mysterious person coming to tell me about the thoughts for this round again? Before you can think too much about it, the voice of the mysterious person sounds along with the static. Haha, my kindness knows no bounds. You can thank me later. The friendly hints this time are the following. Take some time to think about them. Just as I thought, it's just like the test. Each round has a stage that I have to go through. Little boss to you, Miss Bosley? Yes, although we still haven't found where he went. But I haven't stopped missing him. I also believe that Uncle Lee will return. But such hopes might just be an empty dream in the end. Having hope is a good thing. Hope fills people's heart with motivation and courage. Yeah, you're right. Although a lot has happened with the hotel lately, I don't feel sad or defeated at all. Maybe it's this hope of mine that I have to thank. I can tell that Bosley was really good to you. He also taught you well. Yeah, although Uncle Lee and I aren't actually related, he's actually someone who's more than just family to me. Huh? Aren't you a distant relative of Bosley's? I slip up. Fine, I'll tell you, but please keep it a secret. Okay. I was an orphan. I never had a home until a kind family adopted me. My adoptive parents are friends with Uncle Lee. Uncle Lee doesn't have any children, so he was extra kind to me. Later, my adoptive parents went away to do business, and I left Zhujiao with them. Although Uncle Lee and I rarely got to see each other after that, we often wrote to each other and our connection remained. I see. Now that I think about it, if Bosley is willing to hand the Lee Hotel over to you, then he must have seen you as a daughter of his own. Yeah, I think so too. Cornelis Pierce, there is something I want to talk to you about. What is it? Can you tell me the truth about the bloody shirt? Would you believe me if I told you? Yes, if you're willing to tell me, I'll definitely believe you. Okay, but you're the only one I'm telling this to. Please keep it a secret for me. I promise. The bloody shirt is a keepsake of mine. It has nothing to do with Boss Jian. A keepsake? Remember the mentor that taught me everything about being a reporter? The shirt belonged to him. I was born into a very poor family. Borrowing their words, we were lowly peasants. In a time of instability, poor and powerless people like us get bullied all the time. On top of that, my father was a gambling addict. He was greedy and obsessed with cards. He never really cared for me after I was born. In his eyes, I was probably worth less than a pair of dice on the table. Then one day he died because of the debt that he owed, and I became an orphan. I'll skip the turmoil that I had to go through. It wasn't until after I grew a little older that I met a car reporter. He was the one that brought me into the news industry and to usual news agency. He showed me the ropes. I can tell that the mentor meant a lot to Luke. I thought everything was getting better. I believed that I could slowly start to change things. Little did I know, the inside of the news agency was no different from what I experienced when I was younger. There was no such thing as freedom there. I couldn't change anything. The people with power and authority controlled and covered up everything. What do you mean? My mentor, he reported on things he wasn't supposed to. So the head of the agency pulled his editorial, and my mentor suffered the consequences of his actions. What happened to him? They said that he got drunk and died of a fall, but everyone knows what happened. He didn't fall. When I found him, there were wounds on the back of his head. The blood from the wound flowed all the way down to his shirt. I kept the shirt, not only to remind myself to always be careful, but to also remember him by. I didn't think. Little Spears, can you tell me about the pearl? I got a close look at it before, over at Officer Zhong's place. The bottom of the pearl seems to have the emblem of the Von Hagen Association. Upon hearing your question about the pearl, Luke begins to speak after pausing for a moment and sighing. Would you believe me if I told you I found it? You found it in the hotel lobby? No, I was actually there that afternoon when President Van Hagen and Boss Shan had the argument. What? Marius said that he had an argument with Boss Shan around 3 p.m. Could it be that General Spears was also? You were in Boss Shan's room at that time? Yeah, it was about 3 p.m. I was hiding in the closet, so I got a good look at things. No wonder the clothes in the closet were all over the floor. Someone was hiding there. Wait, no, I clearly remember. When we were in the lobby, you were lying when you said you saw President Van Hagen enter Boss Shan's room after the chef had delivered the sweet lotus soup. Yeah, I wanted to scare him a little, but he didn't take the bait. I can't believe everything at face front value. I have to stay alert. Wait, why were you hiding in the closet? Luke has a far smile on his face. To be honest, we reporters have our own channels and sources for information. I knew that Boscia might be doing business with someone from the Guangzhou Union. So I thought that I might be able to sneak into the room and hide somewhere to get a big scoop. My mentor might have wanted me to do it as well. After all, I didn't back then. Back then? Luke continues before you can give it more thought. I never thought President Von Hagen would be the one to show up. They exchanged a few words and started arguing. Afterward, President Von Hagen stormed out of the room. Then someone brought something into the room and got yelled at by Boss Shan. If something got brought up, it must be the chef that brought the sweet lotus soup at 3:30 p.m. I heard the sound of a wine bottle being knocked over and someone repeatedly apologizing in the room. Then Bastian walked into the closet. This matches up. The wine on the table was knocked over. The wine must have spilled onto Bastian's clothes. He had to attend a birthday banquet at night, so he had to get a change of clothes. He went to the closet to grab a new set of clothes, but instead he found two. Luke nods. I was admittedly panicked a little at the time, and as I was trying to break free from Bastian, I grabbed something and knocked him over. Could it have been the phonograph at the closet shelf? I remember that there were bloodstains on it. Luke frowns and nods helplessly. Yeah, after I knocked him out with the photograph, I left through the window of the small bedroom on the other side of the closet. When did you leave? I don't remember, but it was soon after. I didn't stay for anything. Afterward, I made up an excuse and returned to the hotel lobby with the crowd. You know how the rest goes, little boss. I remember it was 3:30 p.m. when the chef delivered the sweet lotus soup. If he left right after, then it must have been after 3:30 p.m. Everything he just said. I don't understand why you're willing to tell me all of this, Julie Spears. It's highly likely that you wouldn't be found out based on a single pearl if you didn't tell me anything. Because I don't want to lie to you, and I wanted you to have this. Luke takes out a key from his pocket. It looks to be a key to a safe. This is something I grabbed in my panic to escape. The pearl that Officer Zhang found was also something I grabbed in a hurry. I never expected to grab something so expensive. I wanted to return it, but I didn't want to get myself in trouble. Do you have any other clues? That's about it. I've also seen the files that Officer Zhang got from Consultant Wing. I don't know what the files have to do with Bastian, but we can't rule out the possibility of him entering Bastian's room after I left, right? It would seem so. If Journalist Spears is telling the truth, then it makes sense to suspect Consultant Wing, but where did Luke get his information? What information network is he working off of? Journalist Spears, may I ask where you got this information of yours? Are you unable to tell me? You thought he'd refuse, but he just shakes his head and smiles. I wouldn't have been able to share it with anyone else, but if it's you, then that's a different story. I'm fine with telling you everything. 3 days ago, I received a telegram from the Mayfly Association. The Mayfly Association? But I was told that the Mayfly Association's telegram network went down after Uncle Lee went missing. If so, then the telegram that Luke received might not be from the Mayfly Association. What is it? You've got a happy look on your face. Seeing that you're not talking, Luke reaches out and waves his hand in front of your face. It's nothing. I'm just confused about something. I need some time to sort it out. Yeah, the case is really getting complicated. Don't be too hard on yourself. Make sure you get enough rest as well. Yeah, you too. Without the wing, do you have any dreams of your own? Dreams? Yeah, I know that talking about dreams is a little outlandish in such a chaotic time. But if you have a dream, I would still like to hear it. Don't worry, I don't think it's outlandish. It has just been a while since anyone has asked me something like this. Yeah, people are more concerned about feeding themselves and staying warm. Dreams and aspirations aren't things that be thinking about. So, what's your dream, Consultant Wing? My dream is to become a righteous person that is useful to the country. And my wish is for the world to find peace. I'm sure they'll both come true one day. Little boss, now that you've arrived in Shushat and taken over the Lee Hotel, does that mean you will be permanently staying here? Why are you suddenly asking me about that? I'm just curious. It's alright if you don't feel comfortable telling me. It's not that, it's just that I haven't decided yet. You haven't decided yet? Yeah, my initial plan was to travel before coming to Zhejiang. I wanted to see the world with my own eyes. I thought I would just take over the Lee Hotel for a period of time before handing it back over to Uncle Lee. But seeing the situation now and how Joshua is doing, I'm going to have to give it some more thoughts. I see. I understand. Consultant Wing, I read the file that Officer Xiong found. The contents don't seem like something that could be gathered in a short period of time. You must have spent a lot of time investigating the Guangjie Union, right? I have. However, Boss Xuan already had someone gather a portion of the files beforehand. I just added and organized the files based on what he originally had. Arthur's posture and gaze looked to be relaxed. It's as if he knew you were going to ask him these questions. So, Boss Xuan was secretly investigating the Guangjie Union? Was Boss Xuan investigating the Guangjie Union for the Mayfly Association? If so, then why didn't the Mayfly Association know about any of this beforehand? You chose the racing thoughts out of your head, focus on Artem, and continue to listen. It is simple. Anyone that does business in Town will be influenced by the Guangjie Union. Boss Xuan wanted to expand the Yingjing Trading Company, therefore he needed to avoid conflict with the people from the Guangjie Union. The file was just to get to know his enemies better. As the financial consultant of Yingjing Trading Company, it is natural that he would give me the files, wouldn't you agree? Yeah, but your attention moved from the information on the Guangjie Union to a list of names. Officer Zhang may not be aware, but after matching it with the list that you have, you are certain that there are more than just Guangjie Union members on the list. There are the names of a group of secret Mayfly Association members, and there is a small marking next to each of their names. Only higher-ranking members of the Mayfly Association would know something like this. How did Consultant Wing get his hands on this information, and why is he taking note of it on the roster of the Guangjie Union members? If only one was marked, it would make sense that he might have made a mistake, but now you have no choice but to believe that Consultant Wing has other plans of his own. You push the list of names in front of him and tap on it with your finger. And where did you get this list of names? You're not going to tell me that Boss Xuan gave it to you, are you? Also, there are special markings on the names on the back. What special meaning do they hold? Autumn glances at the markings on the list and laughs. The truth is, Boss Xuan gave me the list. The people that are marked are hiding in various places in Town. They are part of the Mayfly Association, members that are operating secretly. A chill runs down your spine. You suppress your nervousness and put on a calm and curious expression. Huh? Why would he give you a list like this? Aren't these lists usually top secret? Artem has a complicated look on his face. He frowns and thinks for a moment before speaking. Maybe because Boshan thinks highly of me and is trying to persuade me to join. Giving you part of the Mayfly Association is to persuade you to join? That's a ridiculous reason for doing so. I can't think of another reason. Although Artem looks to be calm, you still feel that something's off. However, even if Boshan wanted you to join, there's no need for him to give you a list like this. All he has to do is show you around the Mayfly Association and make some introductions. Wouldn't that be safer and easier? To be honest, I'm also curious as to why he gave me the list. Artem sighs helplessly. He looks to be confused by Boshan's decision as well. Consultant Wing is a tough nut to crack. I don't think I'll be able to get anything out of him right now. Maybe I should try something else. If you were a teacher, interpreter, Richter, what would you rather be doing? I have given it some thought before. I would be a doctor. A doctor? Why? I once heard a story when I was still in school. Its truthfulness can no longer be validated, but it still had a great impact on me. In the story, there was a doctor who had great respect for life. He spent his life traveling around, curing and saving anyone who crossed his path. He was a very respectable person. His environment was very similar to the era that we are in now, an era filled with gang conflict and clashes between various forces. Those in power even placed bets on the lives of ordinary people for their own benefits. It's cruel, no matter how many times you hear it: profit, power, and wealth. How can these things be more important than human life? Yes, it is not right to ignore the lives of others. However, the same thing happens in the story. It tells of a gang that wanted to expand its territory and influence. So they hid massive amounts of emergency medicine, planning to blame it on another gang. However, this doctor chose to give his life to retrieve the medicine so that ordinary people could be saved. A single life for countless other lives. What a shame. Yes, I thought so too. But later, I realized that he was actually a very happy man. Why do you see that? Because throughout his life, he had been fighting for his dreams and beliefs. And at the end of his life's journey, he stumbled upon a soulmate that truly understood his heart. A soulmate? Huh. What's this sudden sense of familiarity when I look at Interpreter Richter? There is something I would like to talk to you about, little boss. What is it, Interpreter Richter? I want to ask you about your relationship with the Renhui Relief Hospital. You look very surprised when Officer Zhang mentioned that he found a group photo on me, almost as if you remembered something. If there were no connections between you and the relief hospital, you probably would not have acted that way. That's fine. I'll tell you on the one condition. I need you to answer a question of mine first. Please go ahead. You have half of a group photo from Renhui Relief Hospital. Did you take that from the relief hospital? Yes, I was an orphan that was taken in by the Renhui Relief Hospital. After I got a little older, I was adopted by a couple from out of town. Vin didn't hesitate to answer my question. Wait, He's an orphan as well. That means the little boss and Interpreter Richter have both lived in the Renhui Relief Hospital before. It is your turn now, little boss. Okay, I admit it. The reason I was so surprised is that I also have half of a group photo from the Renhui Relief Hospital. You are also from Renhui Relief Hospital? Yes, I was adopted when I got older. My adoptive parents are friends with Uncle Lee. I see. You have been very honest with me. I will keep this a secret for you. Me too. You don't need to worry. Okay, there is another thing I would like you to know. The children in the photo from back then were all sent to different places. Only a few were successfully adopted like you. Only a few? Is there a hidden meaning behind Vince's words? What's on your mind, Interpreter Richter? Why do you ask? You look like you've had something on your mind this whole time. Did you think of something? Vin gently chuckles after hearing your words. He looks to be in a better mood. Thank you for your concern, little boss. I am fine. I am just thinking, did Consultant Wing really collect those files and the list of names by himself? There is a highly sensitive information in those documents, and they do not seem to be accessible to ordinary people. How did Consultant Wing get hold of them? Highly sensitive. Does he mean the list of names? Your heart skips a beat. You look up at Finn and see the usual Finn smile on his face. Calm down. Let's hear Interpreter Richter out first. Interpreter Richter, do you think that it's strange that Consultant Wing would be able to get information on the Guangji Union? You chose the question to Vin, hoping to find something new from his perspective. Not only that information, but there is also a list containing the names of certain members. Normally, the member list is extremely well hidden. Why would Consultant Wing be able to dig up such a thing? What is his true identity? Do you not find that to be interesting? Certain members look like he doesn't know who the people on the list are. So you suspect Consultant Wing of being a member of the Guangji Union? I am not certain, but it is a possibility. If the theory stands true, then there may be another possibility for the incident. If Bosch-Hyun is a member of the Mayfly Association, rumor has it that he also is connected to Boss Yang. Then maybe his death is not a backlash from his conflicts with the Guangzhou Union and Yanjing Gang. It may be the doings of the Mayfly Association. Huh? Bosch-Hyun and Boss Yang's connection? Didn't Janelle Spears tell me about that? How did he know? Why? Isn't Bosch-Hyun a member of the Mayfly Association? Why would they kill one of their own? Vince's theory is extremely bold. You can't help but question him about it. However, he continues as if he knew that you would react this way. Yes, but people change. After all, the Mayfly Association does not share the same interests as the merchants. If Bosch-Hyun wanted to expand the Yingjing Trading Company, he would want to get rid of the obstacle known as the Mayfly Association, correct? Are you saying that Bosch-Hyun is a traitor? A traitor? Little boss, your choice of wording is... A smile seeps out from Vince's golden eyes. You realize you've chosen the wrong word and try your best to salvage your position. No, it's because I never thought that someone as great as Bosch-Hyun would betray his own companions. People are hard to read. You may be overestimating him, little boss. The smile on his face remains. However, a strange obscure emotion begins to emerge in the depths of his eyes. You gaze into Inspector Richter's eyes and lapse into thoughts. Who is he referring to? Is he talking about Boss Xian, or is he referring to Consultant Wing, who collected information for Boss Xian? President Von Hagen, I've been curious about something. What is it, little boss? After Boss Xian swindled your father and took your family residence away, was your family... Well, we did have to go through a huge downgrade. We moved out of the residence and stuffed ourselves into a small house. My parents were busy with work at the time, but for me, even though living an ordinary life was bland, it wasn't too much to handle. I remember that house had a small garden out front. There are many purple bellflowers around it too. It was beautiful. Oh, and there were always people coming to steal flowers. I recall seeing them a couple of times. I see. Wait, I remember having a dried bellflower in my suitcase. Could it be that... But if I'm connected to President Von Hagen, what's the story behind it? Do you ever think about leaving Shusha, little boss? If you'd like to leave, I can arrange for that to happen. Did something happen? Why would you suddenly see something like that? Nothing big. I just think that the conflicts in Shusha are overly complicated right now. There are too many parties at play. You have an innocent personality, and you're not from Shusha Town to begin with. It's best that you don't involve yourself any further. It almost sounds like you're worried about me, President Von Hagen. Oh, you notice? Yeah, thank you for looking out for me, but I'm not going anywhere. Besides, the incident regarding Boss Xian hasn't been solved yet. Uncle Lee left the hotel to me. I can't leave just because I'm scared of the possible dangers. Okay, I do understand how you feel. President Van Hagen, how many little secrets do you actually have? None. I've never held anything back from you, right? Mary smiles with a relaxed look on his face. I've seen the ledger that Officer Zhang found. There are a ton of records in there, but many of them are accounts receivable from the Yingjing Trading Company. How did you know about that? Don't tell me Boss Xian told you himself. He did, actually. You are at a loss for words. Mary shrugs unbothered. The people at the Yingjing Trading Company aren't really that loyal. A little cash here and there and they start spilling everything. I had no choice but to listen. President Von Hagen, stealing company information like that, don't you think it's a little... Don't be mad, little boss. It's all part of business, right? Besides, I had no choice. If I didn't get a hold of this, I wouldn't have any leverage to persuade old Qian into giving back my family residence. It seems that Maris is reminded of the past. His complex expression is filled with regret, anger, and a hint of scorn. So you went and gathered information on Yingjing Trading Company's debt records so you could negotiate with Boss Qian? Yep, I even went after the few that posed great issues for them. Finding out about his mistakes is the only way I'm going to get what I want, wouldn't you agree? Maris pauses while his expression turns to regret. Unfortunately, the first round of negotiations went south. I already told you the specifics. that old man is really tough cookie. According to President Van Hagen's previous statements, on the afternoon of the incident, you met with Boss John and had a big argument. In the end, he threw you out. I suppose the ledger kind of makes sense. But what about the letters from Ren Hui Relief Hospital? Don't tell me that's also for leverage over Boss John. There were a few thank you letters addressed to the man we've never met. They were obviously not written to Boss John. To be honest, it's more likely that they were meant for President Van Hagen. Those kids wrote them to me. I didn't get a chance to read them, so I keep them with me. But you don't have to show off and tell everyone about everything you've done, right? I'm not a great philanthropist who likes to share these things to sweeten my reputation. All I did was donate some money. There's no need to tell the world about it. But official sources said that President Van Hagen never funded the kids at the relief hospital. Could there be some kind of misunderstanding? From the look on your face, I'm guessing you don't believe me yet. What's the problem? His delicate choice of words insult Boss John while elevating himself. However, it is true that what he says makes a lot of sense. You'll have to change the subject to get more information. I actually have another question that I've been meaning to ask. What time was it when you had the argument with Boss John? Are you sure nothing else happened? I can't remember the specific time, but it was before the chef delivered the sweet lotus soup. I recall the chef serving something when I was on my way out. I remember, according to Manager Duan, the chef brought the sweet lotus soup to Boss John at around 3:30 p.m. However, Boss John and Consultant Wing's conversation ended around 3 p.m. That means the only window for President Van Hagen and Boss John to be alone was between 3 and 3:30 p.m. Completing a series of actions while avoiding being discovered and escaping from inside the room in such a short period of time would be difficult. This is really hard. I feel like I'm still missing key information. I think I need to go over everything in detail. Fidelity Spears, President Van Hagen, should we take a look at the closet? You formed a new theory after speaking to Luke and Maris individually. Both of them are here. Maybe talking to them both at once will reveal even more valuable information. Sure, let's talk. Okay, let's chat here. After giving them a summary of what you know, the three of you arrive in front of the closet that Luke said he hid in. Is this where you hid Janelle Spears? Yes. Oh, it's a really tight space. It's amazing that you were able to stay in here for so long. Maris teases Luke as he observes the marks inside the closet. So according to what you said, you were in the closet since 2:30 p.m. So that means you heard my agreement with Boss John. Yeah, but I couldn't hear you two very clearly. However, Boss John was extremely upset after you left and somehow dirtied his clothes. Oh, so he discovered you when he came for a change of clothes? Maris continues to tease him. Luke frowns and looks to be a little upset. Yeah, and I wonder who I have to thank for that. He then looks at the window and scratches his head. It seems like there's something he's unsure of, but he doesn't speak. What time did that happen? President Van Hagen, are you interrogating a suspect? Curious, Journalist Spears. Why are you nervous? Why would I be nervous? I already told her about it. I don't remember it anymore. According to the clues provided by Journalist Spears, I'm guessing he left after 3:30 p.m. Isn't that shortly after I left? You're pretty quick on your feet, Journalist Spears. Likewise. Luke throws Mary's words back at him and looks out the window with a heavy expression on his face. Luke and Mary's timeline match, and they can vouch for each other. Luke most likely wouldn't lie about it either. So right now, we can at least conclude that Boss Yuan was still alive before 3:30 p.m. But the expression on Journalist Spears' face suggests that there's something wrong. He seems to be avoiding Maria's questions. You walk to the sofa and get stopped by Manager Duan. Little boss, speak with your mouth, not your hands. Manager Duan attempts to reach out and grab you but is suddenly stopped by someone. Okay. The manager seems to have something to say but is discouraged by Vince Coulstar. Manager Duan gazes into your eyes. Little boss, what are we going to do? The people from the Guangzhou Union have surrounded the hotel and are demanding a response. I'm so scared. You are not even the one they are looking for. What are you so afraid of? As part of the hotel staff, I will naturally be affected. We have to give them some sort of response. Calm down, Manager Duan. Panicking won't solve the problem. I wonder if this is a bad year for me. First, my boss disappeared, and now I'm trapped here. He lets out an exaggerated cry of pain and collapses on the sofa while continuing to mutter complaints. Whoever leaked it must still be hiding somewhere, stirring things up. We've already called the police, but they are still outside the hotel without a care in the world. Who could have leaked it? If I find out who it is, You will definitely what? Vin glares at Manager Duan and his mouth instantly clamps shut. Although Manager Duan seems to be on the verge of a breakdown, he is right about one thing. Someone in this hotel definitely tipped off the Guangzhou Union, but who? Unable to help yourself, you glance across the room and everyone in it. As you organize your thoughts, Artem begins to speak and interrupts you. Are you thinking about what Manager Duan said? Artem comes over. He must have heard the ruckus. Yeah, what he said does make some sense. The Guangzhou Union wouldn't have gotten here so quickly if no one tipped them off, and they wouldn't be so bold about it either. Who do you think it might be? Consultant Wing does not continue his analysis but poses a direct question to you. You're at a loss for words for a while. I don't know, but if there really is someone tipping them off, then things just got a lot more complicated. No matter who it is, let me know if you need help with anything, especially with the hotel. After all, it's nothing. He shakes his head and lets out an indiscernible sigh. Consultant Wing seems to have a special connection to the Lee Hotel. What's going on? It's a little stuffy in here. The doors and windows are shut tight. The air is stagnant and your thoughts become sluggish. You walk to the window and gently push on it. Oh, right, the windows are locked. You look at the window ledge and move it around left and right, confirming that the window can only be locked from the inside. I remember Luke saying he left through the window. Doesn't that mean that it'd be impossible for him to lock it again afterwards? However, the windows were all locked when we arrived at the crime scene. That means someone else was here after Luke left. And that person is most likely the murderer. After clearing that up, you feel the fog lifting from your mind. You successfully open the other safe with the key Luke gave you. There are quite a few things in this safe. The first to catch your attention is the health examination report. So the Renhui Relief Hospital did a full physical examination of all the kids. Most of the kids are healthy. Your heart instantly sinks upon coming to this conclusion. If these are all healthy kids, then why would they be abandoned at the hospital in the first place? With that thought in mind, you open a well-organized file to the side. This is the basic information on the kids at the Renhui Relief Hospital. This file contains records of all the information on the kids. It includes their family situation, height, weight, and other details. The signature, Nurse Ke. Each of the records was handled by Nurse Ke. Little boss, do these remind you of anything? Vin removes some of the invoice from the box and places them in front of you. He then taps his finger on the time entries. The time on this. These invoices are all shipping manifests from Yu Ying Pier. These are tons of them. What's strange is the invoices don't include the contents or quantities of the shipments. It's obvious that they're trying to hide something. Maybe the times weren't hidden as well for the purpose of preserving evidence. This is your opportunity for further investigation. These timestamps are identical and correspond to each of the poem's entries. You never expected the answer to the question you've been mulling over for so long to be right here. But what do these shipping manifests point to anyway? Could it be that this suggests that Bo Xian took part in the Guangji Union's illegal activities? You look at Vin, recalling what he said previously. Why, isn't Bo Xian a member of the Mayfly Association? Why would they kill one of their own? Vin's theory is extremely bold. You can't help but question him about it. However, he continues with his theory as if he knew you would react this way. Yes, but people change. After all, the Mayfly Association does not share the same interests as the merchants. If Bo Xian wanted to expand the Yingjing Trading Company, he would want to get rid of the obstacle known as the Mayfly Association, no? Could it be that these shipping manifests didn't carry cargo, but instead... Vin frowns as he hands you a stamp. There is no need to rush to conclusions. Take a look at this. This is the official stamp of the Renhui Relief Hospital. If I am not mistaken, Bo Xian made this seal illegally. You take the seal and discover that the pattern on the stamp is a bellflower. It's the logo of the Renhui Relief Hospital. There is still half-dried ink on the seal. It was used not too long ago. Why? What does he want with the Relief Hospital seal? Profit or power. There are really no other reasons for illegally obtaining someone else's seals. An answer forms in your mind, but you are afraid to say it out loud. Bo Xian, who everyone knows as a kind and generous person devoted to philanthropy, is actually just profiting off of them? Then what role does the relief hospital play in all of this? After hearing what you said, Vin organized the evidence in your hand and begins to speak slowly. I believe that you are the only one who truly knows the answer to that question. Huh? You watch as he turns and leaves. Some things remain confusing, but some have begun to make sense. Seems like I'll have to pay Renhui Relief Hospital a visit if I want to get to the bottom of this. When we were with President von Hagen in the closet, there was something else you wanted to say, wasn't there? Your expression at the time seemed... I guess I can't hide it from you. Luke lets out an embarrassed laugh. He then speaks after a moment of hesitation. I remembered something, but I wasn't sure if it was related to Boshan, so I decided not to share it. Can you tell me about it? Well, actually, I think I saw someone enter the room before I went out the window. I was panicking at the time, so I might have been mistaken. You saw someone? Can you recall any details? Luke's words take you by surprise. You quickly pursue the topic. I'm not sure, but I think it might have been Interpreter Richter. Interpreter Richter? How could that be? You remembered clearly that Interpreter Richter said that he arrived at the hotel at 5 p.m. and Luke jumped out the window after 3:30 p.m. So how could that be possible? Are you sure it was him? I'm not certain, but my gut tells me that he's not someone to be trusted. I understand. You're suggesting that there's a possibility that Interpreter Richter lied about the time he arrived at the hotel? Yes, if Interpreter Richter really did lie, then the biggest reason for him to lie is to cover up the fact that he's the murderer. However, in this scenario, it is possible for everyone to lie and for anyone to hide things from one another. Just as you're about to persuade Fidelis Pierce not jump to conclusion, a glint of mischief appears in his eyes. He's also able to find the perfect scapegoat. Scapegoat? You immediately understand what Luke means. You mean he wants to push the blame onto you? Of course, if he was the person I saw, then he may have seen me too. So he would easily have known that Boshan was in the room because you would have no reason to escape through the window otherwise. You finish Luke's sentence and he nods. And something must have happened to Boshan. Because if he was fine, I wouldn't have been able to get away, and jumping out the window isn't something that one would logically do. Something must have happened. After listening to everything Luke said, all the following events start to fall into place. He cautiously walks into the room to find Boshan already knocked out. He is perfect for what he came to do. Afterward, all he needs to do is make up a random alibi, and he would have absolutely nothing to do with it. If that doesn't work, he can easily push the blame onto me. The Lucifer's theory does make sense. However, this is all based on the assumption that the person he saw was Interpreter Richter. We're not sure who that person actually was. We're not even sure if there was a person who entered the room at that time. These are all just his one-side words. What is the truth behind it all? Is interpreted gesture lying and causing someone to take the fall, or is Fiddler Spears trying to create diversion so he can escape the blame? Your thoughts become more entangled. Everything is much more complicated than you had expected. Consultant Wing, there's something that I've been wanting to ask you. What connection do you have to our hotel? You've pondered it through and through, but Artem's reaction when he mentioned the Lee Hotel keeps resurfacing in your thoughts. On top of that, there's also his reaction toward the Mayfly Association and the list of names that he has. Maybe I should take a gamble. You look at Artem, hoping to glean some information from his expression. What are you trying to say? If you want to talk about my connection... He chuckles in slight exasperation. Boss Lee helped me out in the past, so I hope to help you protect the hotel in his absence. It's just a little sentiment of mine. Is that all? I'm sure that that's not all. With how much attention he places on the Mayfly Association, there has to be more to it than this. His response was too calm and composed. You have no choice but to try again. I remember now. I've seen your messages on the Lee Hotel message booklet, Consultant Wing. I think you said that you like to fish and that you wanted to go and fish with Uncle Lee if an opportunity arose. Yes, but it wasn't fishing. It's ice fishing. Have you not heard Boss Lee mention it before? Your heart instantly speeds up, beating fiercely within your chest. He knew after all. You try your best to suppress your emotions and continue with your questions. Yeah, I remember now. Uncle Lee liked to ice fish. He always said that he enjoyed the feeling of fishing by the pond on a freezing winter day. The old man alone on a raft must be alone while fishing in the snow. He looks into your eyes and recites each word that has been ingrained in your mind. It fits. Everything matches up now. You look at Consultant Wing as he continues to smile ever so faintly. Your racing heart settles. So, he really is my companion. In this complicated case and this giant, empty hotel, you're burdened with unspeakable secrets and surrounded by a group of liars with their own secrets. And now, you finally found a companion. You're no longer in this alone. He sees that you understand what he means and gently nods in response. The truth is still out there. I can't expose my emotions. If Consultant Wing and I are exposed, then everything would have been for nothing. You continue to ask about the case and make a hard segue. So, do you know what the obituary means? It means Boss Lee is in trouble. The hotel may be monitored by the Guangzhou gang. Keep the radio safe at all costs. He gave a clear and immediate answer. It's as if he knew you were going to ask that and prepared for it in advance. Looks like the decoder is really with him. Then that means... Was the obituary for you? Then why did Boss John... No, it was actually meant for you. I originally planned on leaving the message and the drawing in the message booklet at the front desk for you so you would notice the information placed around the hotel. But Boss John coincidentally took the information I had placed in the files. So the clipping and the letter... Artem pauses, slightly hesitant. Good thing he didn't have the decoder with him and didn't know what the code meant. Even with his position, sending a simple piece of information to the correct person is still quite a task. I understand, but I still have another question. Journalist Pierce said that the list of the Mayfly Association names, the one that was found in your room, he saw the exact same list when he entered Boschian's room. So, did you go to Boschian's room to steal the document? I did get my copy from Boschian. What journalist Pierce said are but his own words. It's not enough to prove anything. Artem doesn't give a straight answer to your question and returns to his normal serious expression. However, it is true that I've been spying on Boschian. I won't deny that. And while doing so, I've also discovered some pretty unexpected things. Like what? Boschian and the Guangzhou Union have been secretly working together. You could say that they're accomplices. What? Surprise overtakes you for a second, but you quickly find your composure. It's true. There's definitely something shady going on at the Renhui Relief Hospital, and Boschian is undeniably involved. It would have been hard for Boschian to pull off everything on his own. It's understandable for there to be outside forces at play as well. But why the Guangzhou Union, and what did they do together? The joy of reuniting with Artem dies off as more and more doubts arise. Intel 1 Childhood Memories. The children of Renhui Relief Hospital takes group photos when they leave, which is probably why half the photo is missing. Intel 1 Flower Thief. President Van Hagen had a beautiful garden full of bellflowers near his ancestral home when he was young. There was a child who would often come play. Intel 3 Warning. A coded message that Consultant Wing left for Little Boss. It reads, Boss Lee is in trouble. The Guangzhou Union may be monitoring the hotel. Must keep station safe. Intel 2 Hint Cipher. The scribbles in the letter and obituary were supposed to be messages for Little Boss from Consultant Wing. However, after Consultant Wing left it at the reception, they were taken away by Boss Chan. Therefore, the messages were not delivered to Little Boss. Intel 1 recorded time. The shipping time on the shipping list that Boss Chan kept in his safe corresponds to the time in the poems. Only half of an old yellow photo remains after it was stripped. On the back is a fox following a goat, which seems to be a child's doodles. Intel 1 same group photo. The half photo in the little boss possession matches the half photo in the interpreter's possession, which means they stayed at the relief hospital in the same year. A guest book that was originally placed at the Lee Hotel reception, which records a variety of comments from guests to the hotel. Sometimes the owner himself responds to the comments, which read as follows. Yingjing Street Department Store staff. Hey, my favorite sugar powder lotus fruit was too sweet. Did you guys get a new chef? Bosley. Yes, the day before yesterday. I'll notify the chef. Yingjing Trading Company Financial Consultant. Comfortable rooms and delicious food. What's even more satisfying is Bosley's hospitality, which also happens to share my love of ice fishing. We should go together sometimes. Bosley, sure, let's do it. Hongshan Dance Hall, Kimberly Walls. Geez, I couldn't handle all the noise, but the stage next to the hall is very nice, on par with the cell at our dance hall. Bosley. Business Association boss. Great food. I'll invite a couple of my buddies over on my birthday and have the owner make immortal jumps over the wall. Bosley. There is only Buddha jumps over the wall. I've never heard of immortal jumps over the wall. Perhaps you're mistaken. Union Shop second in charge. Warehouse 3 is full again, so business has been good. It's time to ask the boss for money and find a new warehouse. By the way, one day I'll book the luxury suite and experience what it's like firsthand. Bosley, we offer the best service for all our guests. A small reporter as usual daily. Thank you. You may not remember me, but I'll always remember the hot bowl of soup you gave me. Bosley, work hard, young man. Lee Hotel kitchen staff. Boss Lee, it's not for a pay raise, or this chef is looking elsewhere. Zhejiang University professor, stay here for a day. Shame I could not see the owner. Boss Lee, come back again and we'll meet for sure. Zhejiang Police Station, Mr. Chow. What environment? I heard Boss Chen is planning his birthday banquet here next month. Maybe I can do something similar in the future. Boss Lee, you're more than welcome too. Intel One coded message. The guest book of Lee Hotel contains many secrets, some of which are code words used by fellow Mayfly Association members to communicate with each other. Intel 2 Consultant Wing's message. A message left in the guest book by Consultant Wing suggested that he is also a member of the Mayfly Association. Bellflower seal, a seal that Boschan has hidden in a safe deposit box. Intel 1 seal pattern. The seal pattern is a bellflower representing Renhui Relief Hospital. Intel 2 frequent use. The seal is stained with red ink, which indicates it is frequently used. The seal that Boschan has hidden in a safe deposit box. Shipping list. A record of goods transported by Yingjin Trading Company through Yuying Pier, which details the company's foreign transaction information in recent years. Until one staggering amount. The number of shipping lists at Yuying Pier is staggering. The shipping manifest of goods transported by Yingjin Trading Company through Yuying Pier, which details the foreign transaction information of the company in recent years. It reads May 23, 3 p.m. exported 4 batches. June 3, 5 p.m. 6 batches. 8 p.m. 3 batches. June 20, 6 p.m. 2 batches. Not enough to cover shipping costs. Consider sending with subsequent shipment next time. 7 July, 4 p.m. 8 batches. Relief Hospital Investigation Report. The physical examination reports and health status files of the children in Renhui Relief Hospital signed by Nurse Ge. Intel 1 signed report. The report signed by Nurse Ge showed that most of the children admitted to Renhui Relief Hospital were healthy except for a small number of children with congenital defects. Intel 2 stored in private. These reports were placed inside Boschan's safe. The physical examination reports and health status files of the children in Renhui Relief Hospital. Antique copper key. An antique copper key that journalist Pierce took from Boss Xian's room when he left in a hurry. Intel 1 safe key. It appears to be the key to the safe in Boss Xian's room. An antique copper key that journalist Pierce took from Boss Xian's room when he left in a hurry. Relief Hospital letter written by the children of Renhui Relief Hospital, all titled to my kind brother who I have not met. Intel 1 to President Van Hagen. Despite the Van Hagen family not funding Renhui Relief Hospital, President Van Hagen will receive letters of gratitude from the children there. Written by the children of Renhui Relief Hospital, all titled to my kind brother who I have not met. The handwriting is sloppy, but the gratitude is heartfelt. Pearl, a big brown pearl. It is clearly worth a lot of money. Intel 1 in journalist Pierce's possession. Although it was found in journalist Pierce's luggage, it wasn't something he could afford on his salary. A big brown pearl. It is clearly worth a lot of money. Intel 4, Master's Bloody Shirt. A journalist Pierce grew up in a poor family. His father was a heavy gambler that was killed for not paying off his debts, and journalist Pierce became an orphan. When he grew up, he met a reporter that led him into the news industry. Journalist Pierce started calling that reporter his master. Sometime later, his master was killed for reporting a story, and journalist Pierce kept his bloody shirt as a warning to himself. Intel 10 accident. Journalist Pierce hid in a closet at 2 to 3 p.m. to see what story he could find. In the end, he witnessed a dispute between President Van Hagen and Boss Chan. Later, Boss Chan saw journalist Pierce when he went to change his clothes, and journalist Pierce knocked him unconscious and fled through an open window. Intel 4, Mayfly Association member. Consultant Means Real Identity is a member of the Mayfly Association who kept in contact with Boss Lee. After Boss Lee's disappearance, he started contacting the little boss. Intel 9 roped in by Boss Chan. Boss Chan gave the internal list of members to Consultant Wing. He allowed Consultant Wing to continue with his investigation of the Guangzhou Union, probably in an attempt to recruit him. Intel 3 Orphan. Interpreter Richter was also an orphan, taken in by the Renhui Relief Hospital. When he grew up, he was adopted by a foreign couple. Interpreter Richter has a similar childhood to Little Boss. Intel 9 figure. Journalist first claimed he saw a figure when he was climbing out of the window to escape. That figure was Interpreter Richter. Intel 9 Silent Help. President Von Hagen has been silently helping the children of the relief hospital who have a good impression of him and often write him thank you letters. Intel 10 Purple Bellflower. President Von Hagen misses the purple bellflowers near the house where he lived as a child. He has people try to steal the flower on several occasions. Intel 3 Family to Little Boss. Boss Lee and Little Boss are not related by blood, only that Boss Lee would occasionally talk with Little Boss's adoptive parents. Since Boss Lee didn't have any children, he cared deeply for Little Boss. When she was 10 years old, she left Town to go abroad, but Boss Lee kept in contact with her. Intel 17 Illegal Activity. The shipping time on the shipping list corresponds to the time in the poems. Boshan was illegally colluding with the Guangzhou Union. Intel 18 Stolen Seal. Boshan stole the official seal of the Relief Hospital for personal gain. Intel 19 Transaction. According to a Mayfly Association telegram, Boshan was likely making a deal with people from the Guangzhou Union that day. Nurse Ge, the person currently responsible for Renhui Relief Hospital. Intel 2 Deep Drop. That drop. Code words were written regularly in the Lee Hotel guestbook so that members could communicate. Renhui Relief Hospital, a relief hospital that was funded by Yinjing Trading Company. A relief hospital that was funded by Yinjing Trading Company, which houses many children who lost their families for various reasons. Many children here aren't only from Shushao. Many Good Samaritans send homeless children here. Huh? Who am I? Where am I? Why am I trapped in this little box? Am I an NPC in this role? Is this the sad reality that I have to repeatedly live through? I should fight back. I should go and discover the truth of this wall. Huh? What's the mysterious person talking about? Why does that sound so familiar? Wait, that rings a bell. I want to ask you about someone. Who might that be, little boss? His name is Zanger. I'm not sure if you know him. Zanger? I don't know him. There's no one like that in Yuzhou Town. Oh, alright. Never mind then. I suppose he's a friend of mine. I thought the two of you might know each other since the two of you speak quite similarly. How exactly does he speak? He says similar things to what you just said. I knew it. I shouldn't have gotten my hopes up. Why it shut off again? Intel 1 NPC. The mysterious person often rambles on and on in a tone similar to Zanger's word, but the mysterious person claims not to know him. When hiding in a closet, journalist Pierce witnessed an altercation with President Von Hagen and the deceased. Consultant Wing was able to answer the Mayfly Association secret code and Little Boss's code name, which means he is also a member of the Mayfly Association. The shipment time and the shipping list matches the poems, which means they are the times of illegal transactions. A breeze blows by and a splash of water in the fountain catches your attention. Huh? Isn't that Vin? There is a child next to him who clings close. His gentle smiles look warmer under the sunlight. What are you guys talking about? You walk over to them. The child looks to be a little timid and hides behind Vin, revealing only a pair of big brown eyes. Go play with the others if you are feeling nervous. I will come find you later, okay? The child nods and quickly runs away. Wow, Interpreter Wisher, you are great with that, kid. Not at all. I come from the same background as them, after all. You and Vin chat as he watches the children play in the distance. There is a heaviness in his eyes. What's on his mind? A group of kids are sitting around the flowers, listening to the oldest in the group tell a story. You walk over quietly so you don't disturb them. It is a dark and eerie night. Footsteps suddenly begin to sound in the corridors of the relief hospital. The sound varies in strength, but it never stops. The sound of the footsteps gets closer and closer to Ming. Just as Ming climbs out of bed to open the door handle begins to turn on its own. The frightened children are holding onto each other and trembling. They're drawn to the story but terrified at the same time. It's an adorable sight. Ming suddenly remembers the legends of the relief hospital and quickly climbs up back beneath his blanket. He curls up and stays completely still, not daring to move. The person at the door begins to speak. Bad kids who don't go to sleep with me. Who? Who's the bad kid? The child telling the story suddenly raises her voice as if she's directing the question to the kids in front of her. All the other kids begin to shake their heads in a panic, all claiming to be good kids. She seems happy with their responses and begins to laugh. Of course, I know that you're all good kids because bad kids aren't allowed to come out and play with others. But you have to stay good or you'll end up like Ming. The kids all nod vigorously and follow the oldest child elsewhere to play. Is that really just a legend? Is a story with a moral like that something a child is capable of coming with? You enter the relief hospital and see a kind-looking nurse standing off to the side. Hello, how can I help you? Well, You briefly introduce yourself and tell her that you're here for a tour. Ah, the little boss of the Lee Hotel. I apologize for our lack of hospitality. I'm Ge. I run the relief hospital. I know a thing or two about medicine, so the people people here call me nurse girl, so she is nurse girl. Is something wrong? Oh, no, not at all. Can you give me a tour of the relief hospital? You try your best to conceal your astonishment and redirect the conversation toward the abduction of children. I don't see too many kids in the relief hospital. Have most of them been adopted? Yes, although the relief hospital tries its best to take care of the children, what they really need is a complete family. However, we don't just send the kids off with random people. Each of the families that come to us for adoption are rigorously screened and must go through the full legal procedures. Nurse girl answers so fluently, almost as if it is scripted into her mind from how often the question is asked. Afterward, she is still afraid that you don't believe her. You must know Boss Chan, right? He's the most generous person in all of Yuzhou. Yes, I know of him. He brings up Boss Chan before you even have to ask, saving you the trouble of having to explain everything. Boss Chan is very devoted to the children of Renhui Relief Hospital. He occasionally comes here to follow up on the adoption process. So Boss Chan would have known all about the information of the adopters. Yes, I suppose you could see that. You tour the relief hospital with Nurse Girl as your guide while observing their various facilities. Everyone sees that Boss Chan donated large sums of money to the relief hospital, but the facilities and the infrastructure here, they don't match up. This doesn't look to be a place with great financial backing, or did all the funds go to helping the children? However, as a financier who frequents the place, Boss Chan would have definitely been unhappy with the rundown infrastructure here. Even as the sun shines bright, some places are still hidden beneath the shadows and remain out of reach. Miss, when is Uncle Chan going to visit me again? A child grabs hold of your sleeve. You have no idea how to answer the question coming from such an innocent face. Do you miss Uncle Chan? You kneel down, look into her eyes, and pat her on the head. Yeah, Uncle Chan is great. I really miss him. He gives me toys, snacks, and even protects me. Protects you? Yeah, bad guys were trying to take me away one night. It was Uncle Chan that saved me. Boss Chan saved her? But you thought Boss Chan was involved in shady business with the Renhui Relief Hospital. By hearing what the child just said, if it's true, then it would mean that your theory is wrong. Why are you looking for him? Are the bad guys coming again? Yeah, the bad guys are always around. I'm really scared. When is Uncle Chan coming again? Although children's words aren't always the truth, it at least proves that there is something strange going on in the relief hospital. Even if Boss Chan wasn't involved, he was definitely aware of what was going on. Don't worry, the bad guys won't come again, I promise. Really? Yep, you can trust me. The child nods and hugs you gently. You can feel the reliance and trust in her small arms. What's wrong, little boy? Unlike the other children, a boy is sitting on a chair with his head down and a blank look on his face. He looks lonely. It's nothing. He quickly wipes his face, but it isn't enough to hide his red eyes. Is someone bullying you? You shouldn't be talking to me, miss. Huh? Why is that? You shouldn't talk to me. Nobody believes anything I say anyways. You know that's not true. I believe you. You sit next to him and pat his head. Really? Yeah, I'll believe anything you say. Okay. He quickly nods and his eyes fill with determination. Not too long ago, I heard strange noises in the corridors one night when I couldn't sleep. I thought I was hearing things, but the noises continued. I was curious, so I opened the door. Then I saw. The boy hesitates before continuing. I saw some people live with a big box. A big box? Yeah, they even opened the box to check on the things inside. I saw a ton of money in there. The box was full of money. I've never seen that much money before. Did you see what they look like? It was dark, so I didn't get a good look. But I remember that the man leading them was wearing a white shirt. He looked like the boss. Everyone called him Press something. His description is vague, but someone immediately pops into your mind. It's not President Von Hagen, is it? Was it his name that they were calling out? I told my other friends about what happened, but none of them would believe me. They all think I'm lying. I'm not lying. I really did say it. I believe you, but you have to promise me one thing. The child most likely witnessed the secret behind the relief hospital. He may be in danger if he continues trying to tell others about it. Don't tell anyone about this from now on, alright? If anyone asks, tell them that it was all just a dream. Huh? Why? I'll explain it to you later, but let's just keep it a secret between you and me for now, okay? We won't tell anyone. Whoever keeps the secret the longest wins. What do you think? Are you up for the challenge? Okay, I'm great with secrets. I'll definitely win. Okay, it's a promise then. This is our secret. Okay, it's a secret. The boy smiles again and runs to the other children. He says something to them and they begin to play together. I hope this will be enough to protect him. Wait, no. We're within the immersive event facility. None of the actors are supposed to get hurt. Was I getting too into it? Whatever the case, I did gather some information. Could President Von Hagen really be the person that the child saw that night? Excuse me, what are you making? A person dressed as a caregiver is sitting off the side with a ball of yarn and a crochet hook in her hand. Who are you? You briefly introduce yourself and the caregiver responds with a nod. She relaxes after making sure that you mean the kids know her. I'm crocheting a bellflower, see? She hands you a finished handmade bellflower with blue petals and pearls on the edge. It looks to be very delicate. It's so beautiful. Are these for the kids? Yes, I made these flowers for them whenever a child is adopted. That's so nice of you. These children must really like it. You think so? I don't have anything valuable to give them. These little crafts are all I can do in an attempt to leave them with some memories. Why don't I help you? It's alright, but thank you anyways. I think it'd be best if I made them myself. He returns to crocheting and doesn't speak again. Two kids are playing house by the bushes. An argument quickly breaks out. I want to be Boshan! I want to be Boshan! Why? You got to be Boshan last time. I was manager one. It's my turn now. I was only Boshan for a little bit before Uncle Qian showed up. That wasn't enough. Hey, kids, what are you arguing about? Who are you? Uncle Qian said you never talk to strangers. I'm an acquaintance of his. A white lie isn't a complete lie, right? Really? Yeah, would you like me to have Manager One come and prove it? This lady knows Manager One too. She probably does know Uncle Qian. The two kids muttered for a while before lowering their guard. Seems like you guys both really like Uncle Qian. Of course, Grandpa Qian is rich and really nice to us. We all really like him. But Qian seems to have been really good to the children here. Otherwise, the children wouldn't like him so much. Ah, did you already forget? Uncle Qian told us not to call him Grandpa. Oh, right. Uncle Qian said he isn't that old yet and told us to call him Uncle instead. I see. You guys seem really close to him. Of course. How about this? I'll play Boshan and you can play the president that brings stuff to us. Sure, that way we won't have to play Manager One. Why do they hate Manager One so much? But who is this president they are talking about is? You want to ask more questions, but the kids have already run out of sight to continue their game of house. The president that they are talking about, could it be President Von Hagen? What's wrong, Interpreter Risha? You haven't been yourself since the visit to the relief hospital. Did something happen? He unexpectedly remained silent for a while before speaking again. He seemed hesitant. Little boss, what is your impression of the Renhui Relief Hospital? You don't know why, but there is a look of anticipation on Vin's face. It really didn't make much of an impression to me. However, I feel like there's something strange about the Renhui Relief Hospital after visiting. The kids there all wear brand new clothes, but they aren't even the right size. Plus, I also toured the facilities and saw that they're really old. It doesn't look like a relief hospital that receives frequent donations. Vin chuckles as if having just thought of something funny. Even if that is the case, it is still better than it was before. Even if the clothes do not fit, at least they have new clothes to wear. Did you notice how much the children cherish the clothes that they had? Better than before. Did you forget, little boss? The children that were here before had it much worse. All they had were patched and repaired clothes. They did not even know if there would be a next meal, living in constant fear. I recall that the relief hospital would give out supplies to the kids. Of course, but do you know how much of it actually made it to the kids? His golden eyes glimmer with slight resignation and regret. Whether it be donations or government aid. After it goes through the countless people that scheme a little for themselves, there is barely anything left for the kids. But did no one notice anything after all these years? Did no one realize how the kids were living? It is not hard to keep it a secret. Today, for example, we could have chosen to go there in disguise or simply bribe them. Anyway, it is questionable how many people there are in Jujatown who genuinely want to help the relief hospital. Most of them are just people that believe they are above it all, looking down on and pitying the less fortunate, and through it, they reap the self-satisfaction of helping others. Interpreter Richter, you gently call out to him but have no idea how to soothe his current emotions. So I came to understand something a long time ago. You never rely on anyone. Only when you are strong enough will you be able to protect yourself and others. Else you are nothing but a lamb on the chopping board, unable to protect even yourself. Vince seems to have reinforced his belief even further. Nothing can change his mind. President Van Hagen, are you the man in the white shirt that the child said he saw at the relief hospital that night? What do you think, little boss? He doesn't directly respond to your question and instead turns it back on you. You are familiar with President Van Hagen's slippery personality now. You refuse to play along. I don't truly care one way or another. What's important is what you think. After a brief moment of silence, President Van Hagen nods without hesitation. Yes, it was me that visited the relief hospital that night. What was the reason for the visit? Well, how should I put it? I wasn't thinking straight. Back then, the association was newly founded and in need of money. I went to the Guangji Union for funding. I had to do some unspeakable things. The Guangji Union again. The people from the Guangji Union told me that they'd assembled a transport channel near the Renhui Relief Hospital. All I had to do was move the stuff out and we'd be paid with a hefty commission, so you agreed. Mary smiles and nods. I was just thinking that dirty money is money nonetheless. Having money is better than the alternative. I thought it would just be some illegal trading. I didn't think. After several runs, I started noticing that the midnight business wasn't just dirty, it was despicable. I got out of it afterward and haven't spoken to the people from the Guangji Union ever since. You... Don't ask. I won't utter a word about the money and whatever is being sold. Some things are better left unknown. Wouldn't you agree, little boss? You remember the countless thank you letters Officer Zhang found from President Van Hagen's place. That to his attitude right now, you can't help but form a new theories and connect some dots. President Van Hagen, are your donations to the children of the relief hospital a way of attaining your crimes? The varying emotions of regret, self-mockery, and even hatred behind Mary's eyes betray him. No, I just want to help the kids. There's no need to talk about the rest. As for the others, they will pay for what they did one day. So the reason for President Van Hagen's willingness to help this Renhui Relief Hospital is clear now. But Boshan has been proactive in participating in all kinds of charity as well. The purpose of all his work seems to be for the benefits of the relief hospital. What's the reason behind that? Is it really just as is assumed at first that he's doing it out of the kindness of his heart, or could it be that he was also part of it? The mere thought of some things can chill a person to the core. Now that you think about it, the kind and generous wealthy merchant has been behaving questionably for a long time. Hand-woven flower, a delicate flower hand-woven by hand. Until one farewell souvenir, a hand-woven flower given as a farewell souvenir to children who leave the Relief Hospital. A blue bellflower hat worn by the caregivers in the Relief Hospital. Intel 10 obsession. It seems Interpreter Richter had a bad childhood related to the Relief Hospital. As such, he has formed an obsession in his heart to pursue power. Intel 4 tainted with sins. Soon after its establishment, the Business Association was in need of money. To secure more funds, President Von Hagen knew how shady the Guangzhou Union was, yet he still agreed to help them deliver goods near the Relief Hospital. Later, President Von Hagen realized that he participated in an evil scheme and stopped immediately. Intel 8 Shadows in the Night. A person describes someone leaving the Relief Hospital with a box full of money. The description matches President Van Hagen. Intel 20 cares about children. Bastian was very concerned about the Relief Hospital children and would often come to us about the adoptions. Intel one person responsible for Relief Hospital. Nurse Girl is the person responsible for the Renhui Relief Hospital. She has the necessary medical knowledge and will conduct physical examinations for every child who comes to the Relief Hospital. Her words reveal that Bastian was very concerned about the children's physical condition adoption status. It seems Nurse Girl provided Bastian with the examination information. Intel 2 illegal transaction. The Guangzhou Union members embezzled whatever donations were made to the children of Renhui Relief Hospital. They even built a secret tunnel near the hospital to carry out illegal transactions. Intel 1 departed children. Although there was a specialized medical staff in the relief hospital, the children doesn't seem particularly well cared for. Some of the children are removed from the hospital after some time, while others appear to be adopted or go to school elsewhere. Interpreter Richter has some kind of obsession in his heart and was seen suspiciously entering the room of the deceased. A child witnessed President Von Hagen dragging around boxes at the relief hospital. President Von Hagen had past dealings with the Guangzhou Union. Every person who attended the birthday banquet had ulterior motives. It's not as simple as it appears. The deceased appeared concerned about the children, but he used his power for personal gain, which was most likely carrying out illegal transactions. The deceased was greedy and betrayed the Mayfly Association to engage in illegal transactions with the Guangzhou Union. Congratulations! Stop, mysterious person. There's no need for formalities. Let's just get on with it. Nice, I like that. Let's get started then. Starting to suspect that me beating you every time is all part of the script. I don't think that's something you need to worry about, little boss. Maybe it has nothing to do with the script. Perhaps he is simply weak. I think so too. Hey, what you doing? I'm easygoing, but I can still get angry, you know. Well, the scores are clear as day, and we were all there when it happened, so why don't you try winning the next one to prove yourself? Right now, the most important task should be to summarize the case. Yeah, we won, so we should get on with it. Fine, fine, I can't argue with so many people at once. You have my work ethic to thank. I refuse to argue with a bunch of you. Everyone, listen up. Through your investigations, this is the current summary of the case. Many suspicious elements of Boschan's death have surfaced. Everyone here has some kind of connection to Boschan. However, it is possible that someone has lied. Someone has covered something up, and it is even possible that someone has secretly done something without anyone knowing. Hey, be careful with what you say. Are you trying to pit us against each other? Everyone, please calm down. Everyone has their own secrets, right? And none of you hold the same position. I'm sure there shouldn't be anything wrong with what I said. Although I hate to admit it, he is right. Seems like I'll have to go over all the clues I have so far again. Anything else? Yes, of course. Just don't think I'm trying to cause any trouble with the following information. We'll see. According to the current clues, Boschan and the Guangji Union are working together. It may be necessary to question Boschan's identity as a good person. At the same time, the people from Guangji Union somehow found out about Boschan's death. So they rounded up the gang and surrounded the Lee Hotel. They seem to have some kind of secretive agenda. Everyone, it is all up to you whether you're able to make it through this stage and find the real murderer. Why does it feel even more complicated after hearing his summary? I feel the same way. Maybe the closer we are to the truth, the more unclear things become. As long as we discover a breakthrough, we will be able to sort everything out. What is really going on? Okay, I should get going. Do your best in the final phase. Lee Hotel entrance. On the morning of your outing with President Von Hagen and Interpreter Richter, you finish your breakfast leisurely and head to the hotel entrance. Once there, you spot Maris waving at you. Good morning, little boss. Morning, President Von Hagen. Where is Interpreter Richter? I don't see him. I don't know. Sorry, I am late. A familiar voice comes from behind. You spin around to find Vin walking across the lobby unhurriedly. I did not sleep well yesterday, so I woke up late. Please forgive me, little boss. It's fine, we weren't waiting long. We should get going though. As soon as you finish speaking, Mary starts teasing Bean. Interpreter Richter, you honestly need a better sense of time for these group outings in the future. You can't always keep people waiting. Oh, is that so? It seems you still have a habit of lecturing others, President Van Hagen. But when you invited me to the business meeting that night, you did not seem to have a sense of time either, President Van Hagen. You already used to their bickering, you deftly changed the topic. It's getting late, we should go. Hearing your proposal, the two of them temporarily call a truce and nod in unison. And so the three of you head in the direction of the Renhui Relief Hospital. Renhui Relief Hospital. It takes about 10 minutes to arrive at the Renhui Relief Hospital. Director Zhu of the Relief Hospital provides a warm welcome, showing you all around the hospital without asking about what happened at the hotel. Presumably, he had not received the news about Boss Chan's murder. Naturally, your group doesn't bring it up, instead listening to his explanation of the surrounding buildings and scenery. Looking at the courtyard, the environment is beautiful and comfortable. The pleasant scenery is accompanied by the sound of children's laughter from time to time. The atmosphere is great here. You're too kind, little boss. After all, this place is for the children. It's what we should do. That's the tour of our hospital. How about we go talk in the lounge? Sure. Renhui Relief Hospital reception. Stepping into the lounge, the interior is complex and gorgeous, decorated in a Western style. It is more luxurious than the natural scenery you had just seen. Director Zhu offers a seat to everyone and serves tea. With everyone settled in, the conversation begins. I heard that the little boss took over the Lee Hotel. I finally got to meet you today, and you are truly remarkable. You flatter me, Director Zhu. And to have President Van Hagen taking time out of his busy schedule to visit us. It's my honor to have you here today. It's a pleasure. In the face of Director Zhu's hospitality, Mary smiles in response. Seeing Mary's respond favorably to his flattery, Director Zhu laughs before he turns and smiles at Vince. And this is... He's a friend of mine, Interpreter Richter. After a simple introduction, Director Zhu nods thoughtfully, while Vince's expression seems cool. I see. But Interpreter Richter, you look familiar. Perhaps we've met somewhere before. I am afraid you have mistaken me for someone else, Director Zhu. I grew up overseas and only moved here half a year ago. Is that so? Well, I must be getting old. My memory isn't what it used to be. I get things confused. Feeling Vince's inexplicable hostility toward Director Zhu, you quickly change the subject. Now then, Director Zhu. What would Uncle Lee do when he visited the relief hospital? Upon mention of Uncle Lee, Director Zhu pretends to wipe the corner of his eyes. Boss Lee is a good man. When the relief hospital was established, he made a generous donation. He would regularly visit the children every month. From time to time, he would also buy delicious snacks or fun toys for them. Whatever the relief hospital needed, Bosley would do his best to help. What a shame now. As a hospital director and a well-known figure in Georgetown, it isn't all that surprising that he knows of Bosley's disappearance. And though his words are tactful, his message is clear. Rest assured, Director Xu, now that I've taken over the Lee Hotel, it's my job to continue his good deed as well. In that case, the association should also contribute. And I would be happy to as well. Hearing the response from the three of you, Director Xu beams with joy. That's wonderful news. I thank you on behalf of the children. Suddenly, a man in a staff uniform knocks at the door. What is it? Don't you see there are guests? Director, the people from Yunjing are here. Understood. You're dismissed. Sure. After the staff member leaves, Director Xu looks at you all apologetically. My apologies, everyone. There's an urgent matter that requires my attention. Of course, don't worry about us. We'll just take a look around ourselves. No need for you to entertain us, Director Xu. Good. Then forgive me for not keeping the three of you company. Director Xu bows apologetically at you all, then leaves the lounge. Waiting for a few minutes after Director Xu leaves, Marius shakes his head with a look of disgust. Director Xu is a wolf in a sheep's clothes. I don't like him. Although President Von Hagen and I often have differing opinions, I would have to agree with him. Hey, it's not just you guys. I was a little uncomfortable talking to Director Xu. Uncle Lee wouldn't befriend someone like him, and certainly not Ying Jing. You're right. What should we do next? Let us clear our minds with a walk outside. Perhaps we can take this chance to determine what is so special about the relief hospital. Good idea. Sure. Renhui Relief Hospital. Back outside the lake is sparkling in the sunlight as the wind blows gently, lifting one's mood. Children are running in the distance, looking carefree and innocent. Regardless of Director Xu's personality, it seems that the children here are doing well. Vin presses his lips together as if he wants to say something, but he is interrupted by Marius. Little boss, interrupted Richter, look over there. Following Marius' gaze, you spot a girl squatting by the lake and reaching for something in the water. It looks dangerous. Without much thought, you all rush over to the girl. Careful! Marius pulls the young girl back on the cross. When the girl stands up, she looks at everyone blankly. Miss, did I do something wrong? No, you didn't. But what you were doing just now was dangerous, okay? Dangerous? I just wanted to catch some fish. I'm Wen. I come to play here every day. No one cares about me, so it's not dangerous. No one cares? Upon hearing what Wen said, you all finally noticed patches of white on her skin. These white spots don't appear to be drawn on. Not only are the costumes here well done, but they even paid so much attention to these details. Before you can think, Vin is already crouching down, holding Wen's hand. Tell me, how come nobody cares about you? Because I'm not pretty, so they don't like me. At the same time, Gwen rolls up her sleeves to reveal larger patches of white skin. However, she sounds perfectly happy. But that's okay, they don't like me, but I like myself. I can play by myself. That hearing this, you can't stop the mixed feelings in your heart. You look up at Vince and Marius, who both have complicated expressions on their faces. Just when everyone is silent, Gwen is the first to laugh, clapping her hands together. Yay! With all of you here, we can play house. Do you want to play with me? Of course. For as long as you want. You can decide the characters we play. Seeing Gwen's bright smile, the sadness in everyone's heart fades somewhat. After playing house, everyone also plays hide and seek and tag with Gwen, who plays until she lays on the grass out of breath. You guys are so nice. I haven't been this happy in a long time. The last time was when Grandpa Lee was here. But I had more fun playing today because Grandpa Lee doesn't play house and tag with me. Grandpa Lee? Yeah, Grandpa Lee comes to visit me every month, but he hasn't been here in a long time. I miss him. Upon hearing this, the three of you exchange a look. It's clear that Grandpa Lee is Uncle Lee. Can you tell me what games Grandpa Lee played with you? Gwen looks around cautiously, then as if coming to a decision, she inches closer to you all, speaking in a low whisper. Grandpa Lee told me not to tell anyone. But you guys are good people. It's okay if I tell you. Grandpa Lee loves to play treasure hunt with me. Treasure hunt? Yeah, I'll take you to the secret hideout. Renhui Relief Hospital backyard. You all follow Wen to the Renhui Relief Hospital back garden. Before you reach the garden, you hear the sound of machinery. A group of workers are disposing of trees in the back garden and apparently moving the lumber as well. My box! Upon seeing this, Wen rushes toward the giant pit, but before she can get close, a worker grabs her by the arm. You guys are meanies! Give me back my box! Where did this kid come from? Who's responsible for this kid? You all quickly step forward to protect Wen. Sorry for disrupting your work. May I ask what you're doing? Don't you have eyes? We're moving the old trees. This land will be used in the future, so we have to move all the vegetation. You guys are visitors at the Relief Hospital, right? There's nothing to see in the back garden. Why don't you guys go somewhere else? Without waiting for you all to respond, Wen bursts into tears. You big meanie! Give me back my balls! Give it back! Seeing this, the worker is a bit confused. You bend down to pat Wen on the head. Don't be sad, Wen. We'll help you find it. But first, can you tell me about the box? They took away my secret hideout with the treasure box I buried with Grandpa Lee. The treasure box that she buried with Grandpa Lee. My box! My box! Is the girl talking about a wooden box? We came across one when we were digging up the tree, but we thought it was trash and tossed it. Tossed it? How long ago? Not long. The garbage truck just left. We can make it. The three of you looked at each other and immediately understood each other's thoughts. After consoling Wen, the three of you sprint after the garbage truck. Come straight. Thankfully, the garbage truck is moving slowly and you all catch up to it in an alley. I need to work. What are you guys doing? The driver stops the truck, cursing under his breath as he steps out. Sorry, sir, we need something. Yes, allow me to explain. It takes a while to explain to the driver what happened. Fortunately, the driver is a reasonable man. Not only does he not blame you guys, but he also helped look for the wooden box in the garbage. He brushes the dust off the wooden box, then gives it to you guys. Good thing I didn't get very far, or else this wooden box would have been as good as gone. Yeah, you're right. Thanks. No need to be courteous. I'll be going now. Goodbye. As the driver leaves, you focus your attention on the wooden box. As expected, the precious box that went buried with Uncle Lee contained one of the pieces you guys are looking for. What a shock! I can't believe Boss Lee would give something so important to a child. Boss Lee must have his reasons for doing so. Wen is still waiting for us in the back garden. We should head back. Interpreter Richter is right. Let's go back. Rinhui Relief Hospital backyard. When you return to the back garden, Wen immediately runs over to you all with a worker close behind. Miss, you're back! Yeah, and look what I have with me. Marius shakes the wooden box in the air, and Wen's eyes light up. Yay, you got my wooden box back! You guys are amazing! Looking at Wen's cheerful appearance, the worker seems to breathe a sigh of relief. It's good that you guys were able to retrieve it. I was just wondering what to do if the girl kept crying. Well then, please take care of this child. I have to get back to work. Okay, thank you. After the worker leaves, Marius hands the wooden box to Wen. Though this box should contain a necessary piece of the key, no one is willing to ask the child for her treasure right now. But a few seconds later, Wen rushes over to hug your leg, placing the wooden box in your hand. Wen, why? Grandpa Lee said to give this box to someone who is nice to me. You guys were so nice to me, so I want to give it to you. I'm sure you won't lose my precious box. The child's words are so pure and sincere, with eyes as clear as water, that it makes your heart flutter. This child is a great actor. I'm almost moved to tears. You are distracted for only a second before returning to your role as the little boss. You take a deep breath and look at the wooden box Wen gave you. At this moment, you suddenly understand why Uncle Lee would hide a piece in such a way. So you crouch down and hug Wen, planting a big kiss in her round cheek. Thank you, Wen. We will be back to visit you. Yay! Pinky promise! Pinky promise. Of course. With that, Vin and Marius also crush down, and the four of you make a warm promise. After making the promise, when inches closer, her expression mysterious. Miss, there's one more thing I want to ask. What is it? The last time I played hide and seek with Grandpa Lee, he found a great hiding place. I think it's near the Renzin Cafe. The Renzin Cafe? Yeah, Grandpa Lee said the coffee there was delicious, but I'm still too little, so I can't drink it until I grow up. Miss, can you go to the cafe and see if Grandpa Lee is hiding there? Maybe that's why he hasn't come to see me in a while. Wen tugs at your sleeve and shakes it lightly. A mixture of warmth and sadness fills your heart. You manage a smile, nodding. Sure, I promise to check out their cafe. I promise as well. Me too. Having received your answer, a bright smile appears on Win's face. The place she inadvertently mentioned may be a place of important information. After playing with Wen for a while longer, you all say goodbye to her reluctantly before heading over to the Renzin Cafe. Renzin Cafe entrance. The Renzin Cafe is not far from the Renhui Relief Hospital. Soon after you set out, you are able to see the signboard for the cafe. However, after parking the car, you notice that the cafe is completely empty. Standing at the entrance is a man in a suit who appears to be the owner and is locking the place up. Hello, please wait a moment. The man glances at you all and frowns but doesn't respond. Shortly after, he jumps into his car and speeds away. What's going on? We should pursue him for now. Alright. From Street. After a long chase, you finally stop at the same time as the man on the side of the street. With one hand in his pocket, he leans defiantly against the car door, half smiling. You've got impressive driving skills to be able to catch up to me. You flatter me. You're not bad yourself. You've got quite the mouth on you too. It's the first time anyone's talked to me like that. I could say the same. It is time to get down to business. Are you the owner of the Renzin Cafe? That's right. Call me Mr. Jin. Running a cafe is just a hobby of mine. What about you guys? Where are you lots? I doubt you guys pursued me just for the fun of it. Mr. Jin, I am a relative of Uncle Lee. You can call me Little Boss. This here is President Von Hagen and this is Inspector Richter. We came to ask you about Uncle Lee. Except you left too fast just now. We didn't get a chance to stop you. Hearing you mention Uncle Lee, Mr. Jin is stunned for a moment. Afraid that he won't believe you, you take out the Lee Hotel keepsake for him to see. A few seconds later, a smile appears on Mr. Jin's lips. How disrespectful of me. So you're the successor of Broly mentioned. The last time he was here, he told me he was going to step down. I thought it was a joke. Since we're all acquaintances, let's talk somewhere else. Following Mr. Jin's car, you all arrive at a compound that appears to be his residence. After parking the car, he leads you all inside the house. Reception room. Take a seat. I'll ask someone to bring coffee. Thank you, Mr. Jin. Haha, no need to be so courteous with me. After a servant prepares coffee and dessert, Mr. Jin takes a sip from his cup and looks at you guys. Back at the cafe entrance, I wasn't in a great mood. That's why I ignored you guys. My apologies. Had I known you were with Bro, I wouldn't have been so disrespectful. Let's put that behind us, Mr. Jin. Everyone has bad days. Yeah, in fact, it just helped us get to know one another better. I guess you're right. You're pretty interesting, President Van Hagen. If I may ask, why do you call Boss Lee bro? Have you guys made a pact of some sort? Haha, not at all. Lee and I met at an antique appreciation party and became friends when we found our interests were similar. He would often stop by the cafe and tell me about interesting things happening in his life. We never talked about business when we met, only about hobbies. That lasted for a long time and we became brothers. The way you guys became friends is quite interesting. Haha, you flatter me, President Van Hagen. Mr. Jin pauses for a moment, then turns to look at you. By the way, Bro did mention that he was going to travel the world for some time. Do you know when he will return? I have some new coffee here that I want to try with him. At this point, you all know that Mr. Jin doesn't know anything about Uncle Lee's disappearance. I'm not too sure. Well, I'll have to be patient then. Mr. Jin shakes his head helplessly. Suddenly, there is a slight change in his expression, as if he remembered something. Oh, how could I forget? The last time Bro came to visit, he asked me to give you something. You guys must be here for it. I'll go grab it now. Please wait a moment. Moments later, Mr. Jin returns with a familiar wooden box. For the record, I never opened this box, so I don't know what's inside. When Bro brought it up to me, he just asked me to hold onto it for a while, and it just said, "Thank you, Mr. Jin." You take the wooden box and nod at Mr. Jin. By the way, he also left a message for you. Huh? It's nothing special. He said Yu Ying Pier, Warehouse 33. There may be something in there for you, little boss. Understood. Thank you, Mr. Jin. No, it was my mistake. I should have remembered the wooden box as soon as I saw you guys. Afterward, the three of you and Mr. Jin talked for a long time, your conversation ranging from usual customs to interesting stories about the West. After saying goodbye to Mr. Jin, you all check the time and decide to head back to the Lee Hotel. Lee Hotel entrance. You arrive to find Luke and Arthur waiting at the entrance. You guys are back! I knew you two would be waiting for us at the entrance. Everyone is concerned about the pieces. How did things go today? Pretty well. You spent some time telling Artem and Luke everything that happened today. No wonder you said it went pretty well. Nobody tried to steal the piece at the relief hospital. Eh? No wonder it felt like something was a bit off today. Those guys didn't show up. Do you think they gave up after realizing how smart and brave we are? It is not that simple. Vince's words catch everyone's attention, and you all turn to him. rather than give up on stealing the pieces. I believe it is more likely they did not dare approach the relief hospital. Artem thinks for a moment, then nods. I believe Interpreter Richter has a point. After all, the Renhui Relief Hospital is backed by the Yingjing Trading Company. They probably didn't want to cause a ruckus in their territory. And that means their organization is weaker than Yingjing. That's not saying much, though. In a town as large as Yuzhou, forces weaker than Yingjing are a dime of a dozen. Should we consider the possibility that it's a grudge against Boss Lee? But we don't have any clues yet. Hearing their discussion, you feel a headache coming on, and you sigh. There is still too little information, and we are clueless about how to deal with the situation. In any case, we still need 2 more pieces to complete the model. Why don't we focus our attention on the pieces? The rest of the group falls silent for a few minutes, then they all look at you in unison. Agreed. Yeah, I'm fine with that. I have no objections. Why don't we check out Yu Yin Pier together? The remaining 2 pieces should be there. Upon hearing Mary's suggestion, the 4 of you nod. After settling on the departure time, everyone returns to their rooms to rest.